Hello everybody, it's Non-Scene News here, and today we've got a lot of broken dates today. So the first news today is coming from Mongolia, where we've got news that the protests have erupted in Mongolia, with mass rallies demanding the government's resignation. So media reports and say that protesters have accused the government in Mongolia of failing to address the key issues such as smog caused by coal burning, unemployment, traffic jams, and poverty and corruption. So approximately 4,000 people have gathered in the streets of the capital city of Mongolia here to address and protest these key issues with Mongolia. So I'll keep you updated if anything comes out regarding that. We've also got some news today coming from Russia that Afghanistan considers liquid natural gas agreement with Russia. So Afghanistan intends to sign an agreement with Russia on the transit of 50 million cubic meters of liquefied natural gas through Afghanistan, the head of the Russian Business Center in Afghanistan told the news agency of RIA on Friday. So the deal is to be completed at the Kazan Forum in 2025, and deliveries will be carried out by gas carriers. Test runs have already been completed and went smoothly. So it seems that Russia and Afghanistan have tested this new deal, that it's actually possible to do this gas transit between Russia and Afghanistan. And it seems that a huge Afghanistan and Russian gas deal is going to be signed. But first, Russia has to remove the Taliban from the terrorist list. And the next news we have gotten today is that I normally don't actually discuss strikes and active military combat missions between Ukraine and Russia, but this one was a bit different. We've just got news today that Ukraine claims to have struck one of Russia's largest oil refineries in Russia in a drone strike, starting huge fires at the facility and more than 700 miles into Russian territory. So this is where the war is being conducted in Ukraine, and this is where the Ukrainians have managed to strike. So this is the oil refinery that we are talking about. So the attacks on the refinery in the city was one of the largest and most modern refineries in Russia, and was the second time the facility had been struck by Ukrainian forces within a space of a year, according to the Lieutenant Andriy, the head of Ukraine's Center of Countering Disinformation. So Ukraine has hit Russia's one of Russia's most modern oil refineries in Russia. So very big news coming from Russia there today. The next news we've gotten is coming from Ukraine, where we've got news that the British Prime Minister Keir Starmer will visit Ukraine in the coming weeks to discuss the deployment of international peacekeeping forces after the end of the war. According to the news agency of Bloomberg, Keir Starmer plans to visit the capital city, Kiev, as Europe intensifies preparations to return of newly elected US President Donald Trump to the White House. The Prime Minister's office declined to comment on this statement that Bloomberg made, so take it with a pinch of salt. We've also gotten some statements come from Joe Biden, that he says that there is a real big chance of Ukraine winning the war in Ukraine. He stated that the cost of the war for Russia is staggering. Over 600,000 dead and wounded soldiers. North Korean troops are being brought to the front by Russia and also facing high casualty rates. So, interesting statements. We've also got news that Germany is to deliver a new weapons package to Ukraine in early 2025. So, Germany is expected to deliver 22 Leopard 1 tanks, 25 Marder infantry fighting vehicles, the IRIS-T air defense system, 16 howitzers, 2 Patriot launchers, 7 Gepard systems with 120,000 rounds of ammo, the Sea King helicopters, six Sea King helicopters, and 250,000 artillery shells. We've also got news today that allegedly, this is not confirmed, the president of Ukraine, Zelensky, confirms that Ukrainian forces have been captured. 2 North Korean soldiers in the Kursk region have reportedly been captured in a Russian offensive, where allegedly the Ukrainians are stating that 2 to 3 North Korean soldiers have been captured. So I'm not actually sure if I'm allowed to show this footage here in your bottom left corner, but I'm not sure if I can actually upload the videos here, but apparently, allegedly here, if I add it in, allegedly here we can apparently see footage of Ukrainian forces capturing North Korean soldiers. Zelensky announces that the Ukrainian armed forces captured 2 North Korean soldiers, published by these photos here. So according to Ukraine authorities, the prisoners are currently being held in Kiev in a prisoner of war facility under the SBU control. All communications with them is reportedly conducted in coordination with the South Korean intelligence. Zelensky stated that he has instructed journalists to be granted access to North Korean prisoners, suggesting that an interview with them will soon be broadcasted to the world. So apparently, Zelensky is very apparently these are North Korean soldiers, according to Zelensky. But a lot of the Russians are saying this is fake. These are not North Korean soldiers. These can probably just be people from the Siberian region in Russia's far east districts. But the pro-Russians are saying that this is not North Koreans. So, very interesting news. We've also got news coming from President Zelensky of Ukraine that Ukraine is ready to offer assistance to the US in extinguishing fires in California. Today, President Zelensky instructed the Minister of Internal Affairs of Ukraine and our diplomats to prepare the possibility of our rescuers, so the firefighters, participating in the fight against the fires in California. The situation there is very difficult, and Ukrainians can help Americans protect lives, Volodymyr Zelensky said in an evening address. According to the President of Ukraine, Ukraine has offered assistance to the American side, with 150 firefighters are ready to go. So interesting news. We've also gotten some big news today that the Putin and Trump meeting that is currently in discussion have 2 possible locations to be hosted. One place where this President Putin and President Donald Trump will be meeting might be Serbia. So the Serbian President Alexander Vučić stated that he is offering Serbia as a potential venue for the meeting between Putin and Trump, and also Switzerland has expressed its readiness to host possible meetings between Trump and Putin. Austria has as well. Austria has offered to mediate peace talks between Putin and Trump. And that's basically all the countries in Europe that are practically offering to do so. So, very interesting news. And the next news we've gotten today is come from Poland. We've got news that the Polish defense minister says it will take NATO countries at least 10 years to meet Trump's demand to increase defense spending to 5% of GDP. So, the Polish defense minister added that Trump shouldn't be criticized for setting really ambitious targets, but the Polish defense minister is saying it will take 10 years. If we remember on yesterday's video, we talked about how Germany completely refused to do the 5% GDP to military spending, calling it unrealistic. If you remember, that was stated by Chancellor Olaf Scholz. No, sorry, the Vice Chancellor of Germany. So, interesting news. And while talking about Germany, we've got news that's the AfD party in Germany, so it's a right-wing party in Germany, announces Alice Windle, I think that's how I pronounce her name, as the Chancellor candidate. So the alternative for Germany, so the AfD party, has officially nominated co-leader Alice Windle as its candidate for Chancellor, with the AfD now polling in second place behind the CDU and the SCU. The political landscape in Germany is heating up. We've also got news that the AfD party leader, Alice Windle, is promising to relaunch the Nord Stream pipeline if they win the elections in Germany. So, very big news. We've also got some more news coming from the Greenland issue that's been happening in the past couple of days. So Greenland's Prime Minister is prepared to enter into negotiations with President-elect Donald Trump about the future of Greenland, according to the New York Post. The Greenland Prime Minister also stated that we do not want to be Danish, we do not want to be American, we want to be Greenlandic. So the Greenland Prime Minister is still rejecting the American integration statements come from Donald Trump, and it's also vouching for independence from Denmark, and just very interesting news coming there. We've also got news that a Danish MP has also called on social media to seek help from Russia after Trump's statements about Greenland. So Denmark will not agree to the separation of Greenland, stated this Danish MP. He states that in the situation of extreme escalation and tension, we need to take extreme measures and seek help from Russia to resolve this problem. And I am sure that our request will be heard, because Russia does not want to allow Greenland to become a part of the United States. It is a disadvantage position for Russia, as it is for us. A few hours later, this Danish MP actually took down this post. He deleted this Twitter post, but it's already saved and we've already got it here. So interesting news. And the next news today is coming from Norway. We've got news that Norway is reinstating mandatory bomb shelter constructions in buildings over 1,000 square meters. A requirement has been discontinued since 1998, Politico reports. This decision comes in response in heightened potential military conflict between Russia and NATO. So the Justice Minister of Norway emphasized that bomb shelters are crucial for civilian protection during wartime. The plan includes constructing new shelters designed to withstand chemical and radioactive threats and adapting to existing structures like underground garages and metro stations for this purpose. So Norway is now building bomb shelters around Norway in case of a potential conflict between NATO and Russia. And the next news we've gotten today is coming from Croatia. We've got news that the Croatian President Milanovic has won the presidential elections in Croatia and gets 72.5% of the vote in the second round of elections in Croatia. So Milanovic, who's just won the election in Croatia, has consistently spoke against military aid to Ukraine and especially sending soldiers to Ukraine. So Milanovic, I'm pretty sure I'm saying that right, has won as president in Croatia. We've also got some news coming from Italy, that Italy allows gay men to become Catholic priests, The Guardian reports. So according to new guidelines published by the Italian conference, the CIE, gay men will be permitted to train as priests in the Roman Catholic seminaries, provided they adhere to celibacy. So this decision contrasts with the view of the Pope Francis, who previously stated that gay men should not be admitted to roles of Catholic priests in the Vatican. So the statement also emphasizes that while the Catholic Church deeply respects these individuals, sexually active gay men cannot be admitted to be Catholic priests in the Vatican Church. So this was reported by The Guardian here. We've also got some news today that Serbia, we've got some news coming from Serbia, that another large-scale anti-government protest is taking place in Belgrade, the capital city of Serbia. So citizens are demanding justice for the 15 lives that were lost in the Novi Sad train station roof collapse accident. So if you don't know what the Novi Sad train station roof collapse accident was, it was that a train station in Belgrade, a roof collapsed into itself and tragically took the lives of 15 people. So this has become a foundation of anti-slogans and criticism towards the current government in Serbia, calling this corruption. So the people demanding, if it wasn't for the government in Belgrade's corruption, they would have made better roofs in train stations, so it wouldn't have collapsed in, and hence it wouldn't have taken the 15 people's lives that were tragically lost in this train station roof tragedy. So very interesting news. So there's some protests in Belgrade today. We've also got news that Serbia has cancelled some arms contracts with Russia due to sanctions. The Serbian Army Chief of Staff Milan says. So despite the sanctions, Serbia has secured stable and flexible supplies of Russian weapons and parts through licensed productions in other countries. The Serbian army's chief stated that Serbia's army can now conduct high-level maintenance and repair parts for much of its weaponry. He acknowledged that the arms imports from Russia are currently almost impossible, with some contracts being cancelled and others postponed in hopes of normalization. So he's not actually saying it's because of the war. He's saying it's because of the sanctions. Now let's go to another tragedy that's happened today, but this time it's coming from France, which I can't really pronounce the town's name. I think it's Transburg. I think that's how you pronounce the Strasbourg. I think that's how you pronounce the French town name. But there've been reports that 2 trains have collided in Strasbourg, France, injuring 30 people. So I actually cannot show you the footage here, but there was 2 trains that crashed into each other in these train lines here, that caused some fatalities and more than 30 people to be injured in this huge accident that's happened in France here. So if you want to see the footage today, you can actually see this footage on the non-scene news Telegram, which will be in the link on the description. So it will be the first link in the description, called non-scene news Telegram. So if you want to see some of the footage that I post, which I can't post on YouTube. The next news coming today is coming from Britain. So, if you remember, we talked about this in another video, but Andrew Tate, the American-British social media personality and businessman, has announced his intention to run as the United Kingdom Prime Minister. So, Andrew Tate is now stated again that he's 100% serious about this, that he's now running as the Prime Minister of the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, and he says he's 100% serious, and he will be very harsh on migration laws, migration activity to the UK, and other things. So very interesting news. So the UK American social media personality and businessman Andrew Tate will be running as Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. The next news today is coming from Turkey. So we've got news that the Turkish President Erdogan has acknowledged the possibility of him running for a second term as president. So Erdogan had a conversation with a famous Turkish singer. The singer asked the current head of the Turkish state, Erdogan, whether he would run in the upcoming presidential elections. Erdogan stated that if you are for it, then I am for it, Erdogan said to the singer. So there's a possibility that Erdogan will be running again as president of Turkey. I'll keep you updated if he does. He also stated today, the Turkish President Erdogan stated today, that the separatist terrorists in northern eastern Syria have only 2 choices, either to lay down their arms or they will be wiped out. So Turkey has yet again sent another ultimatum to the Kurdish forces in northeast Syria to either lay down your arms or be wiped out. So very big news. And while this is all happening, the Turkish Air Force are currently now striking Kurdish fighters formations in Syria. So you can see this video here. The Turkish F-16 fighter jets carried out attacks on Kurdish positions south of the city of Kobani. So I'll really quickly search where that is. Kobani. So here. So Turkish forces are currently bombarding this exact city here with F-16s, and they are shooting, bombing Kurdish forces here on the border with Turkey and the Kurdish forces here. So big news. Turkey might be starting a military operation very soon. And the next news we've gotten today is coming from Syria again. We've got news that the Lebanese Prime Minister, well, I should say newly elected Lebanese Prime Minister, Mikatia, I think that's how you pronounce his name, met with the Syrian leader, well, the HTS rebel leader, now the leader of Syria, in Damascus. So this was the first visit of a Lebanese Prime Minister to Damascus since 2010. So it's been 15 years since a Lebanese Prime Minister visited Damascus to talk with Syrian authorities, even though they're neighbours. We've also got some news today coming from Ethiopia. We've got news that Ethiopia and Somalia have agreed to fully restore diplomatic missions in their respective capitals. So Ethiopia and Somalia will be now conducting negotiation talks about Somaliland within their respective capitals. So that's big progress when talking about negotiations between Ethiopia and Somaliland. So big news. Somalia. Sorry. We've also gotten some news today that Iran has revealed its new underground missile base. So if you can see this video here in the bottom left corner, the Iranian government have revealed this new footage that reveals its new underground missile base. And obviously, within the start of the video, we can see Iranian generals walk over, obviously, the American and Israeli flag to obviously disrespect the both countries' flag and the nation. So we don't actually, obviously, we don't know the exact the location of this underground missile base, but very interesting footage that the Iranian government has decided to show us. We've also got news today that Iran has added up to 1,000 new drones to the army's arsenal, according to local media. And we've also got news today that Iran has unveiled their latest AI drones that be Great Prophet 19 military drills that are being conducted in western Iran, which I have actually highlighted here in orange here. So this new Iranian drone has a range of 20 kilometers. It has 20 minutes of flight endurance, and a camera is mounted to the front of the drone to help operators select and lock onto targets. So the Iranian army is reportedly set to receive 1,000 of these type of drones. And the next news we've gotten today is coming from the US, and we're going to be talking about the wildfires that have been raging on in Los Angeles. So we've got news that wildfires have reached Brentwood, where Kamala Harris, LeBron James, Arnold, and many other famous celebrities live there. So a lot of famous celebrities' houses are being burnt down at this very moment in LA. We've also gotten some more footage that have been coming out of the wildfires. So you can see this video here. We can actually see fires from the pier at Santa Monica Beach. So if actually, where is Santa Monica Beach? I believe here? No, sorry. Yeah, Santa Monica Beach. So here you can actually see where the fires are happening right here. We've also got news today that the death toll of the Californian wildfires have tragically risen to 24 people, according to ABC News, citing the Los Angeles County Department of Medical Examiner. So very sad news. So at this very moment, at the time of reporting, 24 people have been confirmed to tragically lose their life from this tragic fire accident that's happened. And the last news today is coming from Nicolas Maduro, so Venezuela. So we've got news that the Venezuelan government has actually ordered the closure of the border between Brazil and Venezuela on the day of Nicolas Maduro's inauguration. Currently, there's no one actually allowed to enter or leave Venezuela to Brazil. So very interesting news. We've also got news today that Nicolas Maduro, the leader of Venezuela, has been inaugurated for the third term as president of Venezuela, even though a lot of people don't actually agree with his legitimacy regarding the elections. So there's a lot of people don't actually recognize as the current leader of Venezuela, Nicolas Maduro, as actually the president, due to allegedly him rigging the elections. And right after his inauguration, the Venezuelan leader, Nicolas Maduro, says that he plans to liberate Puerto Rico from the US influence, declaring that Puerto Rico's freedom is pending. But I just think that that's just useless threats that he's pointing out there. And the last news we've gotten today, that's the US actually announces $25 million as a reward for the arrest of Venezuelan leader Nicolas Maduro. So Nicolas Maduro is now wanted for $25 million. So if there's anyone that wants $25 million. Just go to Venezuela and arrest the Venezuelan president, and if you do, I get a cut. So that's all the news I actually have for you today. I am Non-Scene News. I'll try and provide you news that medias around the world do not show you. I do these videos hopefully daily, and please, please, please subscribe and like. And thank you very much for watching, and I'll see you all later. Bye.